Hi, my name is Marcel. I'm a photo colorizer. I have my company, which is named History Alive in Colour. Planning to do a couple of series photo colorizing for you today. I'm just going to go over the basics, just quick and easy, get some colour on this photo. We'll go into some more stuff later on, but we'll assume that you have a basic understanding of Photoshop. I will explain as we go along, not fully in too much detail, but just to get us by. So we're going to make sure we have our paintbrush selected. Foreground here is white, as you can see. That's what we're going to be painting with. And we have our photo here, as you can see. This is a Australian Imperial Forces corporal. I do specialise in Australian First World War. Every photo that you do, I do highly recommend using references, as you can get your highlights, your shadows, and your midground color references. It just makes life a lot easier. I do personally know these uniforms very well, but for the sake I will be using references, so we'll get into it. So this is our reference for our tunic or jacket, as this soldier is wearing. So we'll have that up. So what we'll do now is click on here, which is our master folder. I generally create folders so it gets less messy and less cluttered, and it's easy to close stuff down like that. So what we'll do now is we'll go to this little box here, which is create a new fill or adjustment layer. We'll click on that, and then we'll go solid color. Wherever you click on your layers, it will create the new layer there, so make sure you do that. Otherwise you might be up here, might be in this folder, anywhere. So then what we'll do is this box will pop up, move it out of the way, and then we'll just color pick on our uniform, and that looks pretty good as our base color, and then we'll just hit OK. So now what we'll have is our box here, which is our layer thumbnail and our layer mask. What we'll do now is click on our layer mask, and depending if you're on Mac or PC, you hit Command I or Control I, and that will invert it, so we have our photo back. So now we can hide our reference layer. Then what we'll do is up here to our blending mode of the layer, we'll click on that, go to color. What I tend to do is I'll change the opacity here to just 50%, but it's up to you. You can leave it 100% and then work your way down on what looks right. So then what we'll do is we'll zoom in and we'll start colouring. Alright, so if you want the brush to be a bit bigger or smaller, next to where your backslash you have your two square brackets. Your left square bracket zooms it smaller and your right side makes it bigger. So let's do it. So what we'll do now is start brushing. Or not. Sorry, because my opacity up here is different. Always going to be some hiccups in videos. So we'll just paint in. Doesn't have to be nice. Because what we can do then later on is just go into it, and then so we can go through and just erase where the colour's not needed for the jacket. So just get all the jacket, just get it all that colour in. Alrighty, now we can just quickly go in with our eraser and just go over Generally it's always around the edges. Our buttons for this photo. Our medals, our collar tags. And this little buckle here. So it's generally a different colour. Oh, and these two here. Alrighty. So now we have our base colour, which looks actually quite good. What we can do next is we'll add a Gaussian blur, which basically that will soften the edge. So I will quickly show you what I mean. So if I create a new layer, and we'll just fill this up with a colour. Oh, sorry, wrong way around. No, it won't work, that's right, because the photo itself is. So don't mind that. Anyway, so what we can do now is add our Gaussian blur. So we're filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Click on that. So make sure you're on the actual layer that we painted, our layer mask. And then go blur, Gaussian blur. And if we zoom this out with our minus, it'll bring it out. So what it is here, so this is our colour, the white, and the black is everything else. So this is primarily wondering about wanting to add it to our uniform here. So what we want to do is make the edges so they're softer. So what we'll do is just go up. If we go all the way up, as you see, the colour looks like this. It's just poof, and then you can see on here it looks like it's everywhere else. So we don't want to go that high. So we can even go around 13, actually maybe a bit lower. Go maybe 10, see how that looks. No, we can probably go a bit less than that. This is all up to yourself personally. So I think that looks good. Go 9. And then we have it. And I'll just make sure that that's nicely. Yep. And then there you go. So we've now added our solid color layer, painted it on our photo, removed the colors where they're not needed, and we've added our Gaussian blur to soften the edges. And then what we can also do now to get into a little bit more, we can then go to another fill adjustment layer. Sorry, I'll take that back. We will right click on our mask, go add mask to selection, and this will basically show everywhere that is coloured and where it's not coloured. So as you can see here, this is all our coloured area. These circles here are non-coloured. So that's also a good way to know whether you've missed spots that you'd have in your photo, or if you need to add more, you can just go to this little box, the rectangular marquee tool, just click anywhere, remove it, and then hit the brush, and then just go wherever you need to, or if you need to erase, you can just erase. So we can even just go into here, like so, and then we can just check it. Like so. And then what we can do now is go to our create fill, and then we can go to hue and saturation, drag that down so it's in our master, and then what we can do is play around with our saturation, which basically makes it look more vibrant. So what we do is you can just go back to 0. We can just go a little bit, just to what looks nice. Don't want to overdo it. And we can even play around with our lightness and darkness, which, as you can see, dramatically affects everything. You can change colours completely if you like, but we'll just go subtle. Don't forget to use in our reference, which I think that looks alright. Could go maybe a little bit lighter, and we can even change our hues and saturations, which can completely change the colour, as you can see here. So we'll zero that out, and then we can just go slightly to the green a little bit. Gee, a little too much. There we go. +3, I think that looks pretty good. And there you have it, that's our tunic done. Next video I will go into more of the other particular parts of the clothing. As I said, it's just a quick short video on how to apply basic colour. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy.